Powered by Riverside.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Who is Kyle Graham podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Kyle Graham. Thank you for joining me this week. And as always, before I get started, you know what I'm going to ask you to do. Press the subscribe button on any of the platforms that you're watching or listening to this episode. You get notifications for brand new episodes each week, and maybe, just maybe, a bonus episode. So whether it's YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Deezer, iHeartRadio, or Who is Kyle Graham podcast at riverside.com. Press the subscribe button. You get your notifications for any and all episodes of Who is Kyle Graham. And if you're missing past episodes, you hit the archives and check out every episode I've done so far for Who is Kyle Graham podcast. Let everybody know about it. Let's build up the algorithms and spread the word. Who is Kyle Graham podcast. Now, I wasn't originally have a topic, but it came to me at the last minute, and it happened to be like last night. I'm recording this on a Sunday, Saturday night. Nothing's going on, flipping through the channels, and I came across ESPN, the documentary called The Last Dance, about the Chicago Bulls journey, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, the whole nine, what happened behind the scenes during their span of running the 90s and winning championships and so forth. And I'm watching, it was episode 2, and the spotlight was on Scottie Pippen. And it was talking about the origins of Scottie Pippen. And someone asked one of his friends, what did you think when Scottie Pippen said he wanted to go to the NBA? And his friend said, I laughed at him. And it got me thinking, like, why would you laugh at someone who has a dream? And I wanted to pose that question to you because it kind of gave a mentality of crabs in the barrel. And the definitions of crabs in the barrel is a metaphor for a competitive mindset where if one person tries to improve or succeed, others in the same struggling group will pull them back down out of envy, spite, or fear, ensuring that no one escapes or succeeds. Now, I'm sure you and I have experienced being that crab in the barrel, trying to get out. Or are you that crab who tries to keep the other crab in the barrel because you don't want them to succeed? And why wouldn't you? And why wouldn't they want any others to succeed? You ever think about that? All right, I'll give you a couple examples. Let's just say a friend of someone came to you, and they're a little older, around your age or whatever. Let's say you like your middle age or in your 40s or whatever. And they said, hey, I'm tired of this nickel and diamond. I'm going to strive somehow to be a millionaire. Right? Are you going to laugh in their face because you think, oh, that's impossible? Or are you going to be like, really? Just, you how you did. Really? You trying to do that? Like, yeah. Okay. Your next word should be, go man, do your thing. There's nothing to stop you. There's nothing to say that you cannot be what you want to be and do what you want to do. You should be more encouraging. Then you follow with saying, you make it, loan me $100. You know what I'm saying? When you're a millionaire, give me a G. You should never be like, that's impossible, man. You crazy, you ain't gonna do that. Because I'm thinking now, if you're saying that, deep down, like that person may have the ability to do it. And maybe the fact that you might get left behind. And you just stuck there while they're succeeding because you didn't try. All right, flip the script, Money Grip. You tell someone you want to be a millionaire or you want to play for a sport or be famous, open your own business or whatever, and they laugh in your face. What would your response be? How would you take it? You know? Would you spend that time arguing and convincing them or just going out and showing them that you can do it? I, myself, would never do it. Why? I'm in the process of going after my dream. So I know I've had people, and I've never said this publicly, not even my own best friends know this. I've had people throw shade at me because I'm at a certain age where you should just give up. It hasn't happened yet. Have family members also. Hasn't happened yet. You know, just stick to what you're doing, and that's your life. That's life. That's life. It's not. You know what I mean? Like, you go and you do it. We shouldn't be pulling. We should be supporting. I think there's a lot more supporting in the world. Be a lot less arguments and anger. You know what I mean? It's just like, if someone wants to do something that's not harming anyone, that's not a detriment to themselves or society, we should just like, go, I got your back. And they should, to you. I'm still going after my dream. Like, I'm still going after it. And the only person that is in my way is me. And that argument I have pretty much on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? And that's more dangerous than anyone else. That's the voice that I can't shake at times, is my own voice is kind of saying, all right, well, look, another year went by, this is where you at. But I get through all that. I fight through all that, and I still do what I want to, try to do what I want to do. Because I know on a daily basis, when I go to my regular gig, I'm blessed to have it, but I know it ain't what the fuck I want to do. I know in my heart of hearts it's not. I already know that. I know that. I know that I'm there for the check. I'm there to, keep a roof over my family's head, my daughter, myself head. That's it. Anything else is like, is whatever. I appreciate it, and I'm blessed, and I thank God for it. But I know in my heart of hearts, that's not what I want to do. And I can't shake that feeling. And people may say, and they have, roll eyes like, oh, I thought you would have made it by now. Well, look, if it was easy, everybody would do it. But that crowd mentality thing is interesting, because as soon as you do make it, the same old fools that laughed, the same way this guy laughed at Scottie Pippen, probably the same motherfucker had his hand out for free tickets at Bulls games, was bragging, that's my boy playing with Jordan, that's my boy winning chips, the whole nine. And you see it in Hollywood now. Case in point, 50 Cent is a huge crab in the barrel dude. He loves anyone that's successful or whatever. He's either pulling them down or he's laughing at them while they are down. Where it's just like, dude, run your own race and just keep it moving. I remember when Empire and Power came out around the same time. And instead of celebrating having two African-American led series on the air at the same time, he started shitting on Empire, saying you're trying to be like Power, which is two totally different type of genre of shows, like two totally different, slight similarities outside of the color of their skin, but two different types of genres. You dig what I'm saying? And instead of being like, yo, go check this show out, and then go check my show, and like empowering. So, like I said, the crabs in the barrel thing is just, it's interesting to me why we do that. And I'm sure it's somewhere what I'm going to read about today, and we're going to discuss, you're going to pick out, is it crabs in the barrel, or is it another topic I bring up, opinion or jealousy. So all that kind of bleeds together, but that had me thinking, when my man laughed, when the interviewer asked him, did you think he was going to make it? What did you hear when you first said it? He laughed. Like, why would you laugh? You should encourage. As crazy as it may sound, if somebody say, hey, I want to be an astronaut. And I was like, really? You trying to do that? But yeah. Okay. Go ahead, man. I got you. Go for it. Encourage them. Don't be scared or jealous because if they succeed past their expectations, and you decided just to deal with what you have, don't get mad at them. Because I know people who just gave up on their dreams for whatever reason. And it's stuff like where it's like you actually can work with the situation you're in and still go for your dreams. And I said on this show plenty of times to people who know me, I'm like, I am scared. Like, just the thought right now, if I'm saying it, about to say, is me saying I don't want to go after my dream frightens the shit out of me. It really does. It's like, it gives me a chill that I can't describe, because the thought that keeps going through my mind is like, all right, that one day, out of the blue, somebody was like, oh, so-and-so like what you did, or so-and-so want to read the book, and I don't have it no more. I trashed it. I got rid of it. And I'm like, they're like, yeah, I was looking for you, and you didn't have, and I'm like, I missed my opportunity. No, I'm alive. You know what I mean? Like one of my boys used to say, my man Kamal told me years ago, as long as I got breath in my lungs and I'm alive, the dream is still alive. And that's how I feel. That's how you should feel. The crabs in the barrel thing got to stop. And it just, like I said, I just wanted to bring it up. And had no topic. I just wanted to start, talk shit and whatever. But when I heard that, it popped in my head. I was like, why my man laughing in his face? Like, why laugh? Like, give him a chance to try. Even if he don't make it, at least it's like he tried. And people laugh at you when you don't make it. And it's like, why? Or is it like laugh like, I told you, and they feel better for themselves? Or, you know what I mean? Like, why? You try. I'd rather try and fail than don't try at all. At least I can say, well, you know what? I tried. Disappointing and hurtful as it is, at the end of the day, like, I tried my best. I came up short, but I tried. Then to say, like, I wonder what would have happened. I wonder if I have done that, how would I have ended? Maybe I would have made it. And I wouldn't want that on me. I couldn't carry that with me. I don't even want to go do those thoughts late at night. You're laying there, or you about to get up and do something you really don't want to do. And, you give up your passion to kind of just like, well, it's taking too long. It's too hard. It's too difficult. I'll just deal with the bullshit here and that's my life. Nay, fuck that. That's not me. God bless those who do that, but I can't do that. I can't do that. When I hear it and I feel it every day, throbbing in my head and everything, like, this is not for you. This is what you need to do. You're here, you appreciate it, you're blessed, but this ain't the journey. This is just something that holds you over till you get to where you gotta go. And that's how everyone should look at it. Go for yours. Don't let the crowds pull you down. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't let that crowd mentality get to you. Get to you. Get past that bullshit. Go for you. If you want to do something, regardless of what age, color, creed, him or her, you keep going for it. It's never too late to do anything. Never too late to go back to school. Now, it's never too late to do pretty much anything. It isn't. Don't let an age or physicality. Nah, just go. Your journey may not match up the same as anybody else's, but the end result is where you want to be and what you want to do. That's the key thing. So the crab in the barrel shit, man, that's corny. Fuck those who do that. If you want those crabs, man, go fuck yourself, dude. Like, you should be helping and encouraging. Just because you can't do it, don't mean that they shouldn't do it. If you can't do it, then you can't do it. But encourage them. Hell, along the way, they might help you out. They might be able to open a doorway for you to find something that you want to do, or go get on the path of what you always wanted to do. Use your brain first before you start shitting on people. Stop that crab in the barrel stuff. You know what I'm saying? We cook crabs. We don't pull the people down. Or some people catch crabs, but however you want to use that definition, that's your business. But just don't pull anybody down. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll wrap it up. Either way, the scenario, the definition, and it is bad. It's just bad. Be encouraging, and be that person who encourages and not hurt. Be their cheerleader, not someone who just jealous. You know what I mean? Don't do that. That's definitely not a good look. All right, moving on. Let's get started, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Master P says he gets backlash over Jay-Z's Target deal, quote, but you can't please everybody. The No Limit founder says artists cannot please everyone, but understands why black consumers remain frustrated with Target. Master P is weighing in on the backlash surrounding Jay-Z's partnership with Target, saying the artist will always face criticism while arguing while also arguing that corporations should be held accountable to black consumers. The No Limit Records founder addressed the Target controversy during a conversation with another show. The discussion follows Jay-Z's Yankee Stadium response to critics. Quote, "You can't please everybody," said Master P while discussing the criticism Jay-Z received over Target exclusive 30th anniversary vinyl edition of Reasonable Doubt. "It's gonna be some flack on everything you do," he added. Still, Master P said he understands why some black consumers were disappointed by Jay-Z's decision. He pointed to the community's spending power and questioned whether major corporations are giving enough back. Quote, "I get it. They was more upset that they know Target let a bunch of us off and they ain't did nothing back. Cause guess what? We spent $2 trillion a year, but is they giving something back to our culture? And that's what we gotta start holding these corporations accountable," shared the mogul. The debate surrounding Jay-Z's Target began after the retailer announced it will sell an exclusive special edition vinyl of 1996 debut album. Target has faced a sustained boycott from some black consumers since scaling back several DEI commitments in January 2025. Jay-Z addressed the criticism during the Yankee Stadium residency in July. In a freestyle, he pushed back against accusations that he had sold out and questioned what he considered selective outrage towards Target, while consumers continue using companies such as Amazon, Google, and Meta. Master P also framed the partnership through the business realities of the music industry. He recalled artists once meeting directly with executives from retailers, including Target, Walmart, and Best Buy, before album releases. "People don't realize marketing is the key," he said, adding that talent represents only 4 fractions of what determines success, while business, marketing, and promotions carry much of a load. His comments do not amount to any unconditional defense of Target. Instead, Master P defends Jay-Z against some of the criticism while shifting some of the scrutiny towards the corporation itself. My thing is this, and I'm going to think out of the box here for a minute. I think this is a good idea. Why? Because he can infiltrate from the inside out. You know what I mean? You want to change things, you got to get in. You can't do it from the outside. And bringing them in, he can maybe change things. And bringing other people of color in can maybe make a change. Because you're doing it from the outside and you got a boardroom full of non-minorities, they don't want to hear that. But you bring someone in, we bring a few in, female, person of color, whatever. They can start infiltrating from inside to out and make the changes in. You got to think that way. Stop being like, "Oh, dude, do this." It's like, dummy, think. He goes in, he can help. Double spy type shit. That's how you gotta think about it. He sold out. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And so what the fuck he did? He owe us nothing. That man ain't my leader. He ain't my God. He ain't my Messiah. He's another person. I mean, I can tell who the fuck sold out. That's not for me to say. I look at it in a way where my man can go in, he can do what he need to do, infiltrate, talk to people, convince them, and maybe make a change from within. And I think that's how we look at it. Whether Jay-Z, Master P, Snoop Dogg, or whoever, if they have the opportunity to go in and change, and maybe they will, maybe they won't. But we don't know what they're thinking. We don't know them personally. We haven't asked them. You know what I mean? We have no idea. So why everyone is pointing the finger saying, "Oh, he sold out to the devil himself," but yet you still using Walmart, Amazon, Facebook, Insta, other places, ran by non-whites, built, the boardroom majority of non-whites, male, but you pointing the finger at this. Is that crab in the barrel, y'all? Or just opinion? Was that jealousy? Ooh. Think about that. I can't answer that for you because I don't know, so I just laid it all to you. Put that joint in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. But I'm telling you, you never know what people are thinking in this situation. He hears you. That's why he made the comment. That's why he made the comment during his freestyle. Get them in the door. Let them infiltrate. Let them start communicating with others. Whether Rock Nation with NFL or whoever, if one person of color, male or female, could get in, before we start pointing the finger saying you're a sellout, wait. Somebody got in. Maybe they could try to make a change. Let's fall back a little bit. Let's just see if he can make a change. Because I tell you the fuck what, no one called Barack Obama a sellout when he got elected to run the White House. All white man, old school party. But he went in to infiltrate. Try to change things around. Now, did he or not, I'm not here to discuss politics. But sometimes you got to go inside enemy territory to change things around. And I think that's how I look at the Jay-Z situation. Or anybody else of name of color who goes in and quote unquote, he's sold out. We don't know what we don't know what they're discussing. We don't know what he's trying to do. We have no clue. I'm not saying yay or nay, but I look at it that way. We don't know. Let's see what happens. It's not going to happen overnight. We have no clue. But we don't know what he's saying in these meetings. We don't know what Shaquille O'Neal's saying in meetings because he's part of big corporations. We have no clue. It's going to take a while. We got to see what happens. But a lot of these cats, if they have opportunity to go in, and I'm sure some will make a change, some will not. Some might be about themselves. I'm just throwing it out there as another angle than saying someone has, sold, quote unquote, sold out, whatever the hell that means. You know what I mean? Like, if the offer is there, why not take it? If it betters him and his family, he's thinking about them, and he has that right to. Whether he Jay-Z sold out or not, doesn't affect me whether I knew him or not. It has nothing to do with me. That's him, his life, that's his family. You know what I'm saying? Even if I did know him and I'm mad at the situation with Target, that's his decision to make. He's a big boy. He knows what he's doing. That's his decision. But let's just think for a second before we start throwing the rock and hiding our hands and getting the torches. We don't know what he's doing. We haven't even asked him. You know what I mean? So there might be a method to the madness. And that's something we got to sit back and find out. Give it time. It's not going to happen overnight. But let's just see. Let's stop getting upset with someone signing with big corporations and whatever when we don't know what their plans are. It's a possibility. Then again, like I said, he might say, screw y'all. I'm in for the money. I got my kids and wife to think about. I got a legacy. Who knows? All right, staying with Rock Nation and Jay-Z. Rock Nation responds to claim that Jay-Z's rumor album is done. Jay-Z record label has responded to a rumor about the status of his alleged upcoming album. Rock Nation issued a blunt statement on Monday, August 10th, following a claim from record executive Ray Daniels on the latest episode of another show I don't mention because they don't plug mines, alleged that Hove's next solo album is finished. Quote, his album is done, Daniels told his crew. It's completely done. It's just we might get it if somebody partners with him. If somebody partners with him, it's somebody, and nobody partners with him, it's not coming. Shortly after the clip from Daniels' show spread online, Rock Nation issued a short and sweet response. Fake news, the label said. The rumors surrounding Jay-Z's alleged album have been swirling for well over a year. Artists like Memphis Bleak and Cash Cobain claim Hove is working on new music, but reps for the seasoned MC shut down the rumors. Speculations about the rumor album increased last month after Jay-Z brought out Pharrell Williams during the anniversary show at Yankee Stadium. During his appearance, Skateboard Pete, who's collaborated with Hove numerous times over the years, told the crowd that Jigga is getting ready to go to work. One of the greatest to have ever done it, Pharrell told the crowd. The fact that he can come out here and do this at Yankee Stadium 3 nights in a row, book Paris, you understand, New York, this is your own. You gotta make some noise for your own. Y'all know him to be the giant that I know him to be. They poked the bear and then the bear cut his hair. And now he got on his helmet. He got on his helmet. He ready. He said he getting ready to go. Sometimes it's people's grammar. He getting ready to go to work. I hope you kill them in words. He didn't have to say that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Jay-Z and Pharrell had fans talking earlier this talking earlier when they were spotted outside of the Louis Vuitton headquarters in Paris, where P Studio is based out of. The Roc Nation founder also chopped off his infamous locks at the beginning of his residency at Yankee Stadium, which is another indication that the new music could be on the way. The only fresh verse Hove has released this year is in the remix of Beyonce's latest single, Morning Dew. It was his first new release since he hopped on DJ Khaled's God Did, which earned multiple Grammy nominations. If he does it, he does it. You know what I mean? And I think he wants to do it his way. Sometimes loose lips sink ships, and people are saying shit they ain't supposed to. So obviously, his people's gonna cover it up. Like, yo, what are y'all doing? Like, y'all just supposed to be whatever. I got a whole plan or what have you. Then again, he might not be. Pharrell saying get ready is because he's about to kill the shows in Paris and London and LA. You know what I mean? Get ready for that possibly. Would he do another album? I don't know. Is there another album? We'll see. And it could be that his PR people's like, yo, y'all talking a little too much. Y'all saying too much. We want to make a surprise. We got to whatever. And it might tie in with the 8-part documentary that's coming out this fall. I think in October on HBO, where it might be lead up to that. It might be something he revealed at the end of the documentary. You never know. So sometimes loose lips sink ships. People can't keep their mouth shut. Everybody gotta be like, yo, I got the exclusive, you know what I'm saying? He's in the lab, he's chefing it up, and just, messing up the game plan that he may have in mind. I think it would be dope if he do. Again, some people are like, oh, he's too old. Nah, if you got it, you got it. There's no age limit, like I said. He got it, too. He's killing it. He's selling out shows and stadiums. He still got it. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if he does or not. It's a possibility, like I said, but we shall see. And it should be exciting. And who knows what he might have on there. You know what I mean? If there is an album, I don't know. Surprise me. The fuck? Surprise me. You do, I'm happy for you. You don't, I could care less. It's not going to affect me at all. I'd still be alive and well, thank the good Lord, but we'll see. All right, moving on, staying with some hip-hop. Treach from Naughty by Nature shut the door on another Naughty by Nature reunion. Quote, it'll never happen. After years of public splits and reconciliations, Treach says, reconciliations, right? I said right? Yeah. Okay. Treach says the legendary hip-hop trio won't reunite again. Treach says Naughty by Nature fans should not expect the legendary New Jersey hip-hop trio to reunite again. More than a decade after this publication covered the group's public breakup and the bitter dispute between Treach and Vin Rock, the rapper says years of damaged trust and business disagreements have closed the door for good. The Naughty by Nature reunion fans have hoped for, according to Treach, is no longer possible. Treach made the declaration during an August episode of somebody else's show who don't acknowledge me. Treach said that he had previously avoided ruling out another reunion because he did not know what the future might hold. This time, he was definitive. Quote, I can tell y'all right now that it'll never happen, he said. Treach suggested that repeated betrayals and what he described as behind-the-back business deals had made reconciliations impossible. This episode, the podcast episode description also points to business disputes involving fellow members Vin Rock and DJ KG as part of the conversation. Naughty by Nature, made up of Treach, Vin Rock, KG, became one of hip-hop's defining group of the 1990s with records including OPP, Hip Hop Hooray, and Feel Me Flow. Their internal problems, however, have surfaced publicly for years. The group first fractured first fractured in the early 2000s amid financial disagreements before eventually reconciling in 2013. Tretch publicly announced that Vinrock had been, quote, fired, triggering another highly visible split. At the time, it was reported on Tretch's social media post the uncertainty surrounding the group's future. Tretch later said he and Vin had repaired some of their differences, although he described their relationship as business rather than friendship. Fans received fresh hope in October 24 when all three members unexpectedly appeared together at a radio personality Miss Jones, who still looked good, birthday celebration in New Jersey. They performed Uptown Anthem, creating an appearance that another chapter of the group might still be possible. Tretch's latest comment shut down the possibility despite the occasional shared stage and more than 3 decades of music history. The rapper said a full Naughty by Nature reunion is not happening. That is sad to hear. One of my favorite groups, Naughty by Nature, part of my youth growing up in the 90s, you know, the craziest OPP. Oh my God, hits upon hits upon hits. Once again, it's on. Let me stop for YouTube. Shut me down. It's sad to hear that, and hopefully they can get past it. Hopefully they can squash whatever beef it is, and sometimes situations like this is always what I've always learned. The 2 C's is cash and creative can cause a rift between friends and business partners. You know, the cash part, like he said, making deals behind his back and not getting a piece of the pie like he should. The creative, his vision or KG's vision or Vinrock's vision might be all different. The 2 C's. So it's sad to hear that. Hopefully we get them all together before any or all pass away. And I hope it doesn't take that for them to come together on stage somewhere. And whatever that beef is, squash it. One of the greatest hip-hop groups ever. Like, you still hear their songs in commercials. You still hear me, feel me flow in commercials. You know, people still reference OPP and in a hip-hop parade. You hear it in video games, and all types of stuff. And it was a huge part of the 90s, man. Naughty by Nature was the shit. Great cats. I met Tretch years ago when he hosted the Vibe television show. Like, I met him, he real cool. Vinrock, cool as shit. Met him also. Like, real cool cats, real down to earth dudes, man. And I hope, you know, things change as time goes on. And I hope that they mend their fences, because you don't want to hear stuff like that. There's one of your favorite groups out there. You want to see them like rock the stage at least one more time. You don't get to the Hall of Fame and, you know, squash their beef. But every group, duo, have their issues. We might not hear about it, but they do. Because it happens. Especially if you start out real young and you're growing, and sometimes your point of views change. You know what I mean? He or she want to go this way, you want to go that way. They might not continue performing, you don't, or vice versa. They think a deal is good, you don't think a deal is bad. They take the deal behind your back. There's a lot of stuff we don't know about. And it's difficult to be a duo or a group. You know what I mean? EPMD, duo. Outkast, duo. That's why I say that. Like, if it's more than 2, it's a group. So it's sad. It's sad to hear that, and hopefully they squash it, man. They just, for old time's sake, I would love to see them all come together and not just be posthumously missing one person. You know what I mean? You still got Vinrock and Tretch, and you don't have KG, or you still have KG and Vinrock, you don't have Tretch. You know what I mean? Or you do have Vinrock, you still got. You know, I want to see them all together, and at least one more time on the grandest stage of them all. Come together. You ain't gotta be the best of friends. You ain't gotta be we friends and all that. Come together for the fans. Get that paycheck. You do your thing. I do mine, and just keep it moving. So hopefully that changes. You never know, because right now, when you're angry, you're frustrated with someone. Obviously, you don't want nothing to do with them. So things may change, and they may surprise us, and they might squash it. They all sit down and like, all right, man, let the past be in the past. Let's do a couple of shows. We ain't gotta be friends. We can be business associates, and just keep it moving and do it for the fans. The fans that put you there and put you here that want to see that, because there's not too many whole groups anymore. You know what I mean? Give you an example. Run DMC, no J Master J. Tribe Called Quest, no Phife Dawg. De La Soul passed away. You know? Let's see. Wu-Tang Clan, no ODB. You know what I mean? A whole, like a group, the original people. NWA, no Eazy-E. You know, hell, shit. I don't think there's more Fat Boys. Maybe one. So they're the rare next to EPMD and Outkast. You know what I mean? Maybe a few others that are still together. TLC, no Left Eye. You know, and it's weird to have that missing piece. So while they're still here together, I would love to see Naughty by Nature perform together while they're all still here, while they're all together and all that. But it happens, falling out happens, and hopefully they can squash it and move on and just, you know, again, old time sakes for the fans. We'll see. All right, moving on. Let's see. All right, a follow-up from last week. Victoria Gotti's son surrendered to prison after he failed to donate kidney. Now, I talked about it last week where her son had to surrender if he didn't get the clearance to, you know, have surgery on his kidney. So John Gotti's grandson, Carmine Agnello, must begin his prison sentence after his surrender date was postponed so that he could donate a kidney to his mother, Victoria Gotti. As was previously reported, a judge ordered Agnello, 40 years old, must undergo the kidney transplant by August 3rd or report to prison by Monday, August 10th. If that surgery took place before the scheduled date, he could remain out of prison until September 18th in order to support his recovery. His lawyer, Robert Petrani, asked U.S. District Court Judge, I'm going to butcher the name, Nusrat Sanjari on August 5th to push the deadline back, arguing his client would still report to prison on September 18th. The request included a letter from Victoria's doctor which explained that her renal transplant cannot be performed until her infections are fully treated. Despite the request, the judge did not rescind the initial ruling and only gave Agnello 2 extra hours before he had to report to prison on August 10th. He was also ordered to surrender to either the U.S. Marshals or the Bureau of Prisons by 4 p.m., according to the New York Daily News. In his request, the judge Petrani argued requiring Agnello report to prison on August 10th would render it impossible for him to donate the kidney to Victoria, who's 63, as she battles renal failure. Quote, if Carmine is required to surrender later today, which is Monday, August 10th, he will essentially be disqualified as an option to serve as his mother's living donor at the very time that his mother's medical team is working to determine whether she can safely proceed with the transplant. He continues, Carmine understands his obligations to surrender on September 18th and is not seeking to avoid that obligation, Petrani continued. He's simply asking the court to allow him to remain available to his mother during this very limited period while the doctors determine whether and when she can proceed. They kind of messed up on this, whether she can proceed with the transplant. It's a lot of grammar mistakes here. Federal prosecutors responded that they denied that request in part because the surgery has not been scheduled. The medical report attached to the defendant's letter and filed on ECF states that the recipient has had recurrent infections necessitating the cancellation of any potential transplant. A workup is being performed to identify the etiology and the proper treatment for these infections. Assistant U.S. Attorney Charles Kelly wrote, according to the outlet, clearly the transplant surgery is not imminent. The judge made it clear she agreed with Kelly, writing that she there was no concrete evidence that an organ transplant will be scheduled to take place at any time between today and September 18th of 2026, due to the fact that the request for another deferral for Mr. Agnello's self-surrender is unjustified. Agnello pleaded guilty to a $1.1 million COVID pandemic-related fraud scheme in September 2024. I don't know. That's crazy. That is something that's very interesting. The reported last week. I think it's more of a time thing to see what happens. Like, she has other issues before she has to have the surgery. So there's maybe a possibility that when the time comes and it is scheduled for her to have it, they may be able to get him out to do it. So right now, I think what the court is saying is like, well, it's not imminent. Like, she has a long road to go before you even get there, because there's a lot of stuff she has to go through. And maybe they're asking, well, let's just say hypothetically, in 2 months that she's able to have it, will he be available? So I think there's a lot of back and forth on that. I'm trying to read between the lines. Will he just be available in general to be able to help his mother out? I think it's what they're trying to do. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see if that happens or not. Because they're like, well, the court on one hand is like, the doctor's saying it's not happening anytime soon, so he might as well just get started. And the family's like, yeah, we understand that, but will he be available? And I think it's kind of like, well, we'll see whenever you get through this, we'll see. But he got to start. He got to serve his time. You got to start. You got to pay his dues to society for the crime he committed. And, at the end of the day, the person to blame is himself. My man, if you didn't pull that scam, you would have been around. You wouldn't have to worry about, trying to get out in time for this and missing, turning yourself in because you were scamming cats. You know what I mean? Yeah, the old cliche go, you did the crime, got to do the time. Start your time, get it out the way, and see what happens. And I'm sure 9 times out of 10, what may happen, if they get a schedule and they present the courts and the lawyers, district attorney with all the evidence, they may think, all right, set him up for it, do the surgery, and he recovers, and they'll finish his time. So I'm sure, I believe that's what's going to happen. I think right now it's like, it appears that he's trying to delay going in and give him extra time of freedom, where the judge is like, look, she's not having any time soon, there's no reason for you to start your time. So we shall see. When I get a follow-up, you get a follow-up. So we'll find out what happens as the story continues. Let's see. I got a few things here. All right. Brad Pitt reveals he's no longer sober. Quote, I got off the wagon. The Oscar winner has been candid about his sobriety journey following his divorce from Angelina Jolie. The actor, who got sober in 2016, revealed in a wide-ranging Esquire profile published on Monday that he got back off the wagon after 7 years of sobriety. No, I was sober for 7 years, and then I got off the wagon, Pitt said in an interview, before clarifying in a more restrained manner. I got overconfident a couple of times. Went, yep, nope, not good for me. Not in big quantities. The reporter noted that the Oscar winner had offered him a glass of wine earlier in their conversation. Well, quote, I can have a few, but I can't have a lot. I have to be professional about it, Pitt responded. Pitt began his sobriety journey in 2016 after Angelina Jolie filed for divorce following an alleged drunken argument on the former couple's private plane. A source claimed to people at the time that Pitt became verbally abusive and physical with one of their children while on the plane, which he has denied. Following investigations by the Los Angeles Department of Child and Family Services and the FBI, no charges were filed against Pitt, and there were no findings of abuse. He spoke about sobriety in an interview in 2019. Quote, I have taken things as far as I could take it, he said at the time, so I removed my drinking privileges. Pitt then spent 18 months in Alcoholics Anonymous, where where the all-male support group astonished him. Quote, "You had all these men sitting around being open and honest in a way I've never heard," Pitt said. "It was the safe space where there was little judgment and therefore little judgment of yourself." Months later, he thanked fellow actor Bradley Cooper, who has been sober for more than 20 years, at the 2020 National Board of Review Awards gala for helping him get sober and being open about sobriety journey. "Bradley just put his daughter to bed and rushed over here to do this," Pitt said, while accepting the Best Supporting Actor award for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, dope ass film, by the way. "He's a sweetheart. I got sober because of this guy, and every day he has been happy. Every day has been happier ever since." In June 2025, Pitt got candid about getting sober during the appearance on another podcast that don't acknowledge me. Quote, "I was pretty much on my knees and I was really open. I was trying anything and everyone. I was trying anything and everyone, anything and anyone threw at me." Let me do it again. "I was pretty much on my knees and I was really open. I was trying anything and everyone, anything anyone threw at me," Pitt admitted. Okay, that sounds kind of weird, didn't it? All right. I thought it was just me, but that's what he said. Maybe he was drinking at the time. I don't know. It was a difficult time. I needed rebooting. I needed to wake the fuck up in some areas, and it just meant a lot to me. Pitt also mentioned that he appreciated finding solace in AA meetings over time. Everyone was so open. It gives you permission a way to go, okay, I'm going to step out on the edge and see what happens. And then I really grew to love it. Now, if you or someone you know is struggling with substance abuse, please contact SAMHSA. That's SAMHSA. SAMHSA helpline at 1-800-662-HELP. 1-800-662-HELP. Alcoholism and drugs and everything, and that is something, addiction, that's something that you are fighting every day. And it takes anything for you to fall off the wagon or whatever case it may be. It's a deadly battle that you have to deal with, and it's not easy. And to go 20 years, I didn't even know about Bradley Cooper. That's difficult to do, especially in the industry that he's in. You know, being in the industry, being in Hollywood could really, like, that is a crazy industry to be in. And being a, alcoholic, former alcoholic, and remaining your sobriety for 20 years, it's a lot. Cats that have doing it for 2 weeks, 6 weeks, 4 weeks, a little bit at a time, that's a milestone. You know what I mean? And to do it for 20 years and to remain sober in the industry that is just nothing but filled with drugs and alcohol all around you, says a lot. The stress of carrying a film or producing or whatever, and your vice at the time was always alcohol or whatever drug or something. So I commend cats out there in and out the industry, civilians and celebrities alike, who's taking the struggle day to day, and you're gonna slip, and it happens. Yeah, be human, man. Nobody means you're gonna be strong all the time, So you got the help out there, and you'll get the help that you need, so you can be around a lot longer for your family and friends. And it's a beast. It's a beast being an addict, man. Like it's not easy at all. You know what I mean? You have one of those days, you be like, man, I wish I could just tote on something or drink something or snort, whatever. Because that was your go-to whatever you was going through. But I commend those who go to the meetings and take it day by day. It's not easy. It's difficult to do. So, and I love Brad Pitt, one of my favorite actors. And just hang in there. You and everybody else, whoever's struggling with whatever addiction, hang in there, man. Get the help that's out there. Take it step by step. Open yourself up and get the help, man, because you're loved. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want you to go. We want you to stay. That's anybody and everybody who's going through whatever addiction that it is. There's help out there for you. Go seek that help. Go sit down and get better. Take it day by day. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be peaks and valleys. You know? And like I always say, and I'm going to say at the end of the show, believe in whatever higher power you believe in. Pray on it. It's not going to be easy. Take it day by day. Try not to look too far ahead. Try not to look behind you also. I'm talking to myself when I say that too. You know, I'm not immune to that. You know what I mean? So, but you just got to take it day by day. All right, what else? I got okay, this is good. Fugees set Lauryn Hill's Diaspora Calling Festival cut short. Fans was left dismayed after the Fugees set at Diaspora Calling, as it's called, festival was cut short with major songs still left to perform on Friday night, August 7th. The festival took place at Milton Keynes National Bowl in England, making first time the Lauryn Hill created event had taken place. In the felt that place in the UK. The lineup featured Erykah Badu, Giggs, Fireboy, DMI, and was hosted by comedian Dave Chappelle. But following the event, fans shared their disappointment when the headliners set finished at 11 p.m., just 1 hour after they began their performance. Both Hill and Wyclef Jean microphones were turned off due to legal restrictions on sound beyond curfew. A sign on stage read, Thank you everyone. We're sorry for the abrupt finish. As part of our license, we're legally required to finish the show at 11 p.m. and cannot continue beyond this time. Thank you for being part of the incredible day. We hope you had an amazing time. Please take care. Look after one another. Have a safe journey home. See you next time, you suckers. That's what it sounds like. You suckers, got your money. The 14-song set including numbers of Fugees classic The Score, The Vocab, as well as songs from Hill's solo catalog such as Do Wop That Thing with Erykah Badu, and a cover of Three Little Birds with her son Zion Marley, grandson of reggae legend Bob Marley. Hill and Jean were midway through a performance of Ready or Not when the curfew kicked in with Killing Me Softly with his song and Fujila among the classic songs left unplayed. Hill then led the crowd in a cappella rendition of Ready or Not as the show concluded. Speaking to The Sun newspaper, Jean said, we're really sad how it ended. We was just getting started, so we're hoping to continue next year. We had so much surprises on the lineup, and everybody showed up, and we really felt the crowd, the love, the energy. It's something that they need, something they feel. It just reminds you of unity. Billboard UK has approached the festival organizers for the comments. One fan wrote on X, Lauryn Hill knows her power can withstand any criticism because Diaspora Calling was the worst festival I've been in a while, but seeing a Fugees reunion is a blessing. On Reddit, another wrote, the ending was ridiculous and spoiled the whole experience for me. It was meant to be 30th anniversary of the album, and all we got is DJ set like 2 tracks from The Score. I don't think I will ever pay for her, Minnie Hill, a gig again. Prior to the performance, the pair teased a potential return to the studios for the Fugees. That was my poor attempt at doing an English accent. Sorry for offending anyone. Alright, there's a lot to unpack here. Here's the thing. If you know the curfew's at 11 p.m., what time did the show start? It didn't say, right? I read it. You didn't hear me say it. So if you know it's at 11, why try to jam-pack something in a limited time? You dig what I'm saying? And why have them come on last when they got a huge set? Now, I don't know what time they started. I have no clue. But I would think if I got to shut this joint down at 11, how about we start at 5 or 6? Not at 8, not at 9. How about 5 or 6? Give us at least 5 hours to get this joint. It's a festival. You got heavy hitters. They got catalogs. They want to sing their song. Or cut the catalogs down, cut the performance down on, do a couple of songs or whatever. People paid a lot of money. And it's possibly a lot of cats that also came from other countries in there to see and hear and be a part of this festival. You got Dave Chappelle hosting. You got Erykah Badu. You got the Fugees. A couple other people I never heard of when I read the article. But you have them there. You might know who they are because I said the names. But I'm sure a lot of people paid their money to see this and enjoy themselves. And right when things are picking off, it goes curfew. Boop. Now, another question is like, why pick a venue that has a curfew? Is it me? Right? So there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. Again, me reading the article, they didn't say what time it started or how long the show was. They just said they showed them an hour before the curfew kicked in, and they grooving, and everybody grooving along with them. They in their world, and then the mics are cut, and then they cut the bloody mics. They got a curfew, and they cut the bloody mics, and they got a curfew. And they thank you for coming. Just have a safe job. You know, we got your money. Not getting it back. We had a curfew. They knew what was going on. Boom, boom, boom. I'd have been upset also. I'd have been really mad. I came there all this way to see the goddamn Fugees. You know? And another example, like the Fugees. Going back to the... Now, granted, Pras really... You don't really need him, so you got the talent right there. So, them two doing an album will be dope, because you can do a whole album about Pras. You can do a performance on Pras. He really didn't contribute much. So, you know. Hopefully there is another album with them together. It would be nice to have Pras, but who's going to wait 14 years for him to come out? You know what I mean? I think like 14 years, 10 years or whatever. I ain't got time to wait for that. Unless he's going to do like Lil Wayne and do it over the phone. You know, 1 or 3 lines per song. You know, who knows? Or here's a message from Pras. You know, inmate 39282. Yo, this is Pras Michelle. What's up, everybody? What's up, Fugees? Yo, peace out. Maybe they do something like that. Who knows? But I would definitely be upset. I go see a concert. You cut off the microphone and all that shit. Yo, man, I paid too much money for this nonsense. I ain't got time. So you have every right to be upset. And like I said, what I don't understand, like, if you know it's a curfew, why pick that venue? And what time did you start the show? You know what I mean? Like, or cut down people's songs, you know, and try to fit it in so it won't be cut short. You know, they say the straight performing, and the microphone they just cut the microphone off. Like, come on, type of bullshit is that? Whatever. That's crazy. And I agree with that one. I would not go to another Lauryn Hill show again. I wouldn't go either. You show up late, you perform late, show cuts off early. Nobody got time for that. Nobody got time for that. Cardi B video shoot photographers cuffed after getting into beef with security. Cardi B had some police drama at her video shoot Monday in NYC. A photog got into it with security and found himself in NYPD handcuffs. The law enforcement sources tell us the 70-year-old Shutterbug, identified as Steven Sands, disrupted Cardi B's music shoot on the street of Sunset Park, Brooklyn, where the rapper had a permit to film. Our sources say Sands bypassed police barriers and ignored orders from Cardi's staff, where we're told Sands failed to comply with police orders to stop acting up, but he refused and was issued a criminal court summons for disorderly conduct. Video posted to Instagram shows Sands being detained with handcuffs by NYPD officers next to a patrol car, but police say he was later released without being arrested. Sands, on the other hand, tells TMZ he got to the video shoot before Cardi, and a security guard came to him and read him instructions to control the crowd and media. He said the guard then moved him behind equipment so he couldn't get a good shot of Cardi when she started filming. As a result, Sands told the guard he wanted to move 10 feet away to an open area where he could get a perfect shot of the hip hop star. But according to Sands, the guard wouldn't allow it, saying Cardi wouldn't want that. Sands fired back, saying, I don't mean to be rude, but I don't care what Cardi wants. Sands said the situation only went downhill from there, leading the police cuffing him and issuing him a summons. You're a 70-year-old man acting a fool. Follow instructions. Follow instructions. I mean, granted, they released you. We probably know why, white man. But follow instructions. Like, dude, my man trying to do his job. His boss is Cardi. Cardi wouldn't want that. I ain't trying to lose my job. My man, just stay here. I know it's not a good shot, but you don't move around. Whoop, 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 blah, 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 blah. And like, no, how dare you tell me not to do this? And he goes, and then he gets cuffs, and he's, I'm a white man, let me go. Or some shit like that. Because you know, it's a brother who's disrupting shit. He's cuffed, arrested, fuck the summons. He's doing like 48 hours in, then get fined, and then loses his job. You know what I mean? I think I just made a great scenario there. I'm a good writer, right? But I think this nonsense. You're a 70-year-old man, act your age, follow instructions. There are rules to comply, and he's trying to do his job. I don't think he's trying to be rude, but there are rules, and it's probably rules from her, and it's probably rules from NYPD and the city. Like, all right, keep him here. We don't. There's a reason for that, and he's acting a fool, and I don't care what she says. Really, say it to her face. Tell her that. I don't care what she says. Like, you mean care what she says? Like, dude, this is her job. This is her. She paid for this time, and if they say remove you, you'll be removed. You know what I mean? I can't say this though. Sidebar, staying on Cardi though. She did might have been the same video. Man, let me tell you. She had this fur coat on. It's summertime. I don't know why she got a fur coat on in the summertime. But underneath the fur, woo, had this bikini. Yeah, can't take her voice because it's annoying. So I'd rather just keep her silent. Like, just smile, you pretty and all, got a body. But yeah, her rapping and voice, just smile and wave and jiggle and wiggle, But yeah, woo. Anyway, Steven Sands, he's 70 years old, act your age, homie. Probably got grandkids. Come on, set an example for yourself. Follow rules. You know what I mean? Like, follow rules. So, like, all right, let's say your grandkid, he wants ice cream for dinner. And you're like, no, you can't have ice cream for dinner because your mom said not to. And he said, I don't care what my mom says. What you going to do? You going to do like, oh, you know what? You're right. You got that right. Or you probably put them in place. Come on. Rules are rules. My man doing his job. You're doing your job. In terms of letting your grandkid, no, you can't have no ice cream for dinner. You know what I mean? Like, the message is passed down from high up from the queen. You can't move. You can't do this. You're doing your job. That's it. You don't like it? Get to stepping. It's not that hard to do, folks. It's not that hard to do. Put one foot in front of the other, and you just start stepping. That's it. We all step every day. Do stepping. DJ Envy declares Chris Brown better performer than Michael Jackson. DJ Envy attended both Chris Brown and Usher R&B tour stops in New Jersey over the weekend and was blown away by C Breezy's showmanship to the point he crowned CB the best performer of all time on Monday on his own show. Salute to Usher and Chris Brown. I went to the tour. Jesus Christ. To me, Chris Brown is the greatest performer ever. To me, yes, he's better than Michael Jackson. If he declared Chris Brown is the best performer I've ever seen when it comes to dancing, absolutely, he's Michael Jackson on crack, whatever the hell that means. The radio host continued, he can do what Michael Jackson does, and he can add acro to it. He can add his different style. He can make it hip hop ish. He can make it contemporary. He gets busy, and I've never seen nothing like it in my life. Even when his co-host Lorna and Just Hilarious pushed back against Envy's bold claim, he doubled down on his stance about C Breezy greatness and gushed about the R&B legend's ability to put a spectacle night after night on the road. The fact is that he just got off tour and does that every night. Every rave flies in the air for 30 minutes and he does not stop dancing. DJ Envy attended August 7th and August 8th shows at the New Jersey MetLife Stadium, which became a star-studded affair with special guests like 50 Cent, Mary J. Blige, Method Man, Ashanti, Fat Joe, Jadakiss hitting the stage alongside C Breezy and Usher. The R&B tour continues this week with a pair of shows north of the border in Toronto, Canada, heading to Boston, Chicago, San Francisco to round out August. Brown has never been one to compare himself to Michael Jackson. In September 2025, Instagram story Brown once again gave the King of Pop his balloons. Michael Jackson will forever be the GOAT, and that's not even arguable, he wrote. Throughout his decorated 20-plus year career, Brown has compiled 125 Billboard 100 entries, and all of 12 of his solo albums have peaked inside the Billboard 200 Top 10. Again, it's his opinion. That's his opinion. It doesn't bother me. I think Michael Jackson, I think is one of, if not the greatest performer that does it all, dancing and all that stuff. Whether I see Chris Brown or not, but that's his opinion. This is his opinion. That doesn't bother me. I'm not gonna get bent out of shape. I don't know why people get bent out. Again, going back to what I said on the show, that's his opinion. You can't argue somebody down if they have an opinion. He clearly said to me, he's better than X, Y, and Z. To me. How could you say that? Because I seen it. He's better. That's my opinion. Go with it. You know what I mean? For a lot of years, I was not a Michael Jordan fan growing up. When everyone was gushing over him, to this day, I never was a Jordan fan. Never liked him. Never liked him, never was a fan, or everybody was like, yo, he was great. Nope. That was me. I didn't think he was. Well, who you think it is? That's what depending on how you break it down. You talk about championships, who has most of all time. Boston Celtics, Bill Russell, has 11. At the time, all-time scoring, at the time, growing up, was Jabbar. Now it's LeBron, all-time scoring in NBA history. How are we doing it? Are you basing it off of because he has sneakers and he does endorsements? Well, shit, it's called the NBA Hall of Fame, not the NBA Endorsement Hall of Fame. But I got a lot of flack because I wasn't a Jordan fan. I never liked him, never rooted for him. That wasn't my guy. My guy was Barkley. You know what I'm saying? That was my guy. Never won a chip, but that's still my guy. My point is, it's your opinion. There's no right or wrong. There's no need. You can have a debate, a discussion, but sometimes it gets heated. And if he crowns him like better than Mike Jackson, then that's his opinion. That doesn't bother me. I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. I'm not a Breezy fan. I'm not being biased. I'm not saying the show's not good or nothing like that. I'm sure this dude puts on great shows. The man would be where he's at now, and if he hasn't, would be having sellout shows and women swooning over him and all that stuff if he wasn't good. But that's his opinion. And I don't see why people will be like, oh my God, I can't believe you said it. Why not? It's his opinion. It's not facts. There's no facts to anything. It's his opinion. I always say, well, just because if the majority of the people, if you don't agree with the majority of people, then something's wrong with you. And it's like, if you're the minority of it all, in terms of not agreeing with the majority, it's just like, you're weird, you're weird. If the kids say, you're weird. It's like, no, not weird. That's just my opinion. I don't want to. You know what I mean? Like, he don't think so. And that's cool. And that's his opinion. I ain't mad at him. He's doing this thing. Now, dig the move. Hypothetically, let's just say the King of Pop was still alive. And at the time before he passed, he was like, I think I'm going to retire. But, like most entertainers, King of Pop was like, I'm bored. I might do a little residency here just to keep the blood flowing and whatever. And he was still around, and he was still doing this thing. And you just put them side by side. I don't know, he might change his mind. But at least Chris Brown, like I said, Chris Brown's a humble dude when it comes to it. He was like, he give the King of Pop his balloons, and that's that. It's just certain, I'm sure he is flattered that people put him in that category. I mean, anybody would be. To compare you, make him say better than Michael Jackson, who gives you a full stage show, who does the dancing and have effects, and he would go up in the air himself and all types of stuff, and women, fans, and everybody would faint, have little buckets of water on them. Go YouTube all that. It's times like in the 80s and 90s, these Michael Jackson tours international. Fans are faint. They have the buckets of water on people to wake them up. They just be like crying, streaming tears. And he's just singing and dancing. People like passing. Oh my God! Like to have that effect on people, which I'm sure that, like Usher and Brown might be having that now, seeing him in person. I don't know to the effect. I don't know if it's like to the effect you got to throw water on to wake them up, but that effect that Jackson had on people, I don't know if anyone can do that. Go Google, go YouTube that shit. People like stream, like crying, passing out. They're taking people out of the crowd because they just, and all he doing is singing and dancing. He ain't doing nothing but that. But people were just like minds are blown. If you can reach that level, give him the crown. Seriously, because that is power right there. I don't know. Maybe people have done that at the Usher, Chris Brown. I don't know. But if you got people like passing out and they got wiggle buckets of water and people just like bawling their eyes out because all you doing is singing and dancing right in front of them. Woo. If he could do that, then I say give him that crown. That's all I'm saying. Give him that crown. Let's see. NBA YoungBoy's mom roast him after he suggests he won't speak to her again. NBA YoungBoy's mom just went scorched earth after her son said in a recent interview he likely won't speak to her again, ripping his skills or lack thereof as a father. Here's the deal. The rapper appeared on Open Thoughts Tuesday and said his mom was a source of his previous anger. He then went on to suggest they never talk again, though he said he loves her from afar. This set his mom, Sharonda Golden, off, and she took to Instagram to claim he's an absent father who doesn't speak to his own kids. Quote, she also claimed to be present for his Open Thoughts interview, but then backtracked when she realized she was thinking of a different interview. YoungBoy's mom also posted notes on her IG story warning him to keep her name out of his mouth. Sharon and YoungBoy's relationship has not always been estranged. She defended him during the drama with Kodak Black, years back, when Kodak accused YoungBoy of snitching on Ayana Yaya Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather's daughter, and YoungBoy's then girlfriend when Yaya was arrested in 2020 after allegedly stabbing one of YoungBoy's baby mamas. But it looks like YoungBoy and his mom are not in the best place right now, despite them still saying he got love for her. This is a perfect example of what I'm talking about, putting your personal shit out there on social media and interviews and stuff like that. I'm a private person by nature, and those who know, those who don't, whatever. And if I'm beefing or I'm getting along with a family member, let alone my mom, I'm not going to really put it out there. I'll just we ain't seen eye to eye and just keep it moving. Or I won't say nothing at all. But then, of course, what she do like most people do, she's going to go on social media and blast them and all that, where you could just privately do it privately. Call them, leave them a message or something. You don't have to make your private disputes public. That never made any sense to me. Why do that? Why open yourself up to more scrutiny? That never made sense. Never made sense to me at all. You, mom, you're a grown-ass woman. Be mature about that shit. You ain't young. You ain't, stop being he's an absentee father. You don't need all that. That doesn't help. That doesn't do anything. What's your end game by posting that? What is your end game by responding that way? Somebody, get in the comments. What is the end game? Is it worth it? Why would, if you the ones out there, post your personal lives on social media? Why? Why? I'm asking because I don't know. I question it all the time. We got comments on these platforms. Open. Boom. Let me know what you think. Because I don't see why you should put your business out there and just say personal things, and it's not worth it. I don't understand. I don't get it, and I don't like it. I don't understand that. Let me know what y'all feel about that in the comments, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, put in the comments, get at me what you think, because I don't understand. Because maybe you're the ones that do the same thing. Put your personal business out there when it's not really necessary to do it. I don't think it is. Do you? I don't know. It's not necessary. I got a Michael Jamal Warner, maybe a double bubble. Let's see. See if I can pull this up here. They might kind of go hand in hand, these two articles. GoFundMe campaign to benefit Michael Jamal Warner's wife and daughter amid a state battle. The widow and daughter of the late actor Michael Jamal Warner are the beneficiaries of a new GoFundMe campaign intended to honor him and help ease the financial strain. The fundraiser title in honor of Michael Jamal Warner support for his family says that it was started by a close friend of Tanisha Warner's, whom the actor married in 2017. The couple shared a young daughter. The Cosby Show star died July 20th, 2025, when he accidentally drowned during a family vacation to Costa Rica. He was 54. Quote, you may assume that Michael Jamal Warner's career left his wife and daughter financially secure. Organizers Destiny Rail said, this was his intention. Malcolm had worked with his attorneys to update his estate and planned to provide for his wife and daughter, but he passed away before he could sign it. They thought they had time. Warner most famously played Theo Huxtable, the son of Bill Cosby's character Heathcliff, in all 8 seasons of The Cosby Show from 84 to 92, beginning when he was a teenager. Later, the actor starred in series such as Malcolm Eddie, The Resident, and Read Between the Lines. Last month, Tanisha filed 2 lawsuits against her mother-in-law, Pamela Warner, the trustee of the actor's estate, seeking $1.2 million, which she alleges was part of a premarital agreement. Malcolm provided for his family during his lifetime, intended to provide for them in the event of his death, she wrote in the first lawsuit, which was filed on July 17th in Los Angeles County Superior Court. Unfortunately, Malcolm's intent has been thwarted by an outdated what? I'm sorry, my screen acting up. An outdated trust, the Warner Family Trust dated October 7th, 1996. Sorry. Why is this thing acting crazy? The trust divides Warner lifetime earnings between his mother, father, and half-sister while leaving out his wife and daughter, according to the court document. The second lawsuit was filed July 20th, 1 year after his death, in the place where he lived, DeKalb County, Georgia. Tanisha Warner wrote then, I have been struggling to care for our daughter as a single mom and now as a sole provider, she added. Legally, I had no choice to take action to protect our rights before any potential statute of limitations expire. We thank you for your support and love and understanding as we work through this painful process while honoring Malcolm's life on the first anniversary of his death. The GoFundMe noted that Tanisha continues to struggle. I know that Malcolm is beloved by so many, and his fans are grieving his loss. I can tell you what most people would never see. Rail wrote, I have watched Tanisha spend this year grieving the love of her life while honoring the promise that they made to each other to homeschool their 9-year-old daughter. Every single day she shows up for her child as though her own world has not been falling apart and still makes sure breakfast is on the table. It continues, I stayed with Tanisha when she finally returned home after Malcolm's tragic accident, only to find the house she and her husband built packed into boxes, unexpected flooding. She is rebuilding not only her life without him, but the very home they created. As of Wednesday afternoon, the fundraiser brought in more than 35,000 to 40,000 gold, including an anonymous donation of 32,300. Here's what I'm gonna read the follow up, the companion piece to this. Here's the thing: is there a problem with you getting a job? Like, go to work. Or you just solely dependent on him working and he just reaping his funds? Like, go to work. Find a gig. You got to change up. You can't just be like, oh, I'm old, this, whatever. While this is happening, find a job. Like, find a job. The GoFundMe thing to ask people of the less fortunate to give money is like, come on. Get a job like everybody else would. You have to. I'm sorry. It sounds harsh, but get a job. Go apply and start working. Shit happens. It's horrible. Life be lifing, but you gotta do what you got. You sitting around and you woo boo. And come on, get a job. Now the companion piece to this is Michael Jamal Warner's mom reaches settlement with his daughter's guardian over money. So Pamela Warner worked out a settlement with the actor's daughter's guardian over her inheriting a portion of his fortune. Pamela tells this article the agreement was hashed out with the guardians for Malcolm's daughter and has yet to be approved by the court. Malcolm's widow, Tanisha Warner, has not weighed in on the deal, nor does it appear she played a role. But Pamela says she remains hopeful that all parties will support the resolution. Pamela said she also wanted to address the recent saddened public statements by Malcolm's widow, Tanisha. Quote, she said, recent claims that Pamela sought to prevent her granddaughter from receiving financial support are untrue. Pamela said Malcolm was thoughtful and deliberate in his estate, planning to include all his loved ones. She admits his trust was divided between her, his father, and his sister. However, she said Malcolm provided for his wife and daughter separately and apart from the trust to the tune of millions of dollars. She said Pamela has since reached a settlement with her granddaughter's representatives, which is subject to court approval. The agreement provides for Malcolm's daughter to receive the majority remainder of the trust and estate. The deal covers the daughter's college tuition and gives her a cut of the estate. Pamela said the agreement is in the child's best interest and will allow her to have a relationship with her grandmother. It was reported Tanisha sued Pamela last month, claiming her daughter was wrongfully cut out of Malcolm's estate. I didn't know a daughter had representatives, which is weird, so I don't know what they mean. Is it the daughter representatives, is the mom, or whatever? So I'm a little confused by that statement alone. But if they worked out something for the daughter, which it should be about the daughter, not about the wife. Get a job, Tanisha. Get a job. Don't use that for yourself. Use it for the college tuition and for your actual daughter. Not to pay your bills, not to get the new shoes, not to get the new house. It's for your daughter's college tuition and for her needs and wants. Not your needs and wants, hers. You go to work. Like everybody else, I go to work. Fill out application, get your resume together, go on interviews, hit the workforce. Let's go. Let's go. You're not too good for working. Let's go. Everyone who's listening and watching me, we gotta get up tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's Monday, or go to work tonight. You know what I'm saying? Get the step in. Fill out application. Go online. Shit. Work. Don't wait like, oh, you owe me this. No, you sound entitled and spoiled and begging people to help you. What the fuck? Come on, man. Go to work like everybody else gotta go to work. It's not that hard to do. Money should go to the kid. That's it. College tuition, needs and wants. Daughter only. That's it. Then you go to work, pay for everything else. Pay for the food, pay for utilities, pay for your lifestyle. That's what you do. You don't take that money and go towards you. Nay. Excuse me. Don't do that. Hopefully she don't do that. So it looked like they squashed it or about to squash it. And I didn't know his daughter had representative. Like, I would think that'd be the mom because she's underage. But who knows? As long as his daughter gets what she deserves and Pam gets to have a relationship with her only granddaughter from her only son. That's the key thing. So we'll see. We'll see. Time goes on. What happens? You hear it here first on Who Is Kyle Graham podcast. You're not gonna hear it nowhere else. You know what I mean? You hear from me. If you hear from somebody else, they ain't gonna tell you like I tell you. Tell you straight. You know what I'm saying? All right, that is it. I'm done. Let me see here. Yeah. That's it. Everybody, thank you for joining me on this week's episode of Who Is Kyle Graham. Like I said in the middle of the show, you're going through something. There's help for you. There's people out there who love you. Just seek it and look for it. Don't think that they don't. We all do. Continue to believe whatever higher power you believe in. Take it day by day. It's not easy. It's not going to be easy. It's not meant to be easy. It's just what it is. But just stay prayed up. Believe, again, whatever higher power you believe in. Take it day by day. Try to be positive. Don't let the negative crabs in the barrel pull you down, talk shit, or whatever. Don't let that get to you. Stay focused. Go for your dreams. No matter how big and crazy it sounds, it don't matter. You go for it. No matter what age you are, no matter what race, color, creed, him or her, go for it. Get your dreams. Go for it. Keep going till you can't go no more. Don't let nobody stop you saying you're too old or it's too late. You're never too old, never too late. Go. Fight. Get your dreams. Go for it. Because you might be closer than you think. All right, everybody. That is it. I will see you, Lord willing, next week for another episode of Who Is Kyle Graham podcast. I'm out. Later. Another KG joint.